What's up, Potato Bros, and welcome to Carved by Grief. It seems to be a made for the Jamsepticeye Game Jam, which I was kind of a part of. But yeah, let's get into it. Apparently it's narrative driven also. Oh, it's a work of fiction. Had been raining for days without pause. I sat in the old house, the glow of the TV, the only light left, half listening to the news and half ignoring the storm outside. I opened itch.io, by the way, because I've been using Steam lately. It said I haven't been here for a year, which technically is right, but I mean, I haven't played in like a couple months on itch.io, and it registered as like being a whole year gone past. Well, not like that, but it said 1 year gone. Anyways, they said it was the edge of a hurricane crawling north from the Gulf. Seasonal, nothing usual. Told myself I liked the rain. It was calming. Like the white noise apps, I used to fall asleep. But this storm didn't sit right with me. Nothing on the radar looked strange, but the ground had been soaking for weeks, and I couldn't stop thinking about the rivers swelling higher. I lived in the Appalachian Mountains, close enough to the French Ford to know how easily water could rise. We'd weathered floods before, and I kept hoping this one would pass the same way. The steady drone of rain and television static was almost enough to lull me to sleep, and the house suddenly sighed and the power cut out. So, if you don't know, the kind of subject of the Jamsepticeye Game Jam was making death an opportunity. The sudden silence was almost louder than the storm. The hum of the TV, the steady drone of appliances, all gone in an instant. Only the rain and wind pressed at the walls. I grabbed a flashlight and made my way to the back of the house. The beam shook with my hand as I opened the fuse box, though the breakers all looked fine. Nothing tripped, nothing out of place. I grumbled. It was the storm. It must have knocked out the local grid, probably a downed tree. On my way back, the house shuddered. A heavy crack split the roar of the storm. The thin glass burst inward as branches punched through the back window. Shards clattered across the floor. Rain blasted inside the storm like... inside like the storm had found its way in. I froze, heart pounding from the crash. Rain was already pouring across the kitchen floor. I wonder what this M is about. Menu? The broken window gaped like a wound. Glass shattered everywhere. I cursed under my breath. This wasn't the time for repairs. But if I didn't cover it soon, the whole house would be flooded. Would flood. I stood there a moment, weighing my options. There was a cart in the shed out back. I could rush into the storm and grab it, or find something inside and make do. Choose your own adventure, I see. I guess we could go outside. Surely it won't flood that fast. The rain hit me like a wall the moment I opened the door. Stung against my skin. Pulled needles riven sideways by the wind. I pulled the hood of my jacket tight and pushed into the yard. The shed was only a few yards away, but each step felt longer. The ground turned soft beneath my boots. Flashlight beamed jittery Flashlight beam jittered across the trees, catching the shed as it shuddered under the storm. Roof was holding, though branches littered the ground around it like fallen bones. I wrestled the door open, the hinges screaming against the wind. Inside, the smell of wet wood and rust. Harp was there, hauled up in the corner where I'd left it last season. I grabbed it, clenching it under one arm as I forced the door closed again. Heading back toward the house, I couldn't shake the feeling that the storm was heavier than before. Not just louder, but closer, pressing in from all sides. Another crack of timber rolled through the hills, and for a second I thought I heard something else woven into it, something that almost sounded like a voice. I froze in place, listening to determine what I was hearing. Mountains were old, and there was no shortage of folklore about strange sounds. I didn't buy into those, but something about this just felt different. Maybe it was just the stress of the storm weighing on my mind. I tossed away the broken branch and started hastily stapling the tarp to the side of the house over the broken window. I heard it again, a shrill, eerie noise. I turned toward the woods, knowing the river was back there. I wondered for a moment if I should investigate. Nah, let's not mess with that. That doesn't seem like something we should mess with. I shook the thought away. I needed to keep myself safe. I needed to cover the window. I managed to affix the tarp over the whole window, and I hoped the staples would be enough to hold. The rain still seeped in a little, but it would keep most of it out for now. Hopefully it wasn't an alien egg that burst through the window. I decided to head back into the living room. Probably a branch. That might have been actually what we picked up, I don't know. Into the living room and tried to get out until the power came back. I wouldn't be able to sleep comfortably without a fan at least. I sat alone in the dark listening. The house cracked and creaked and shuddered around me, every gust of wind rattling its bone. Walls that felt thinner than they ever had before. Time slipped by strangely. 10 minutes, maybe an hour. I couldn't tell. Kept checking my phone for something to do. The service had cut out with the power. Signal was terrible. I usually relied on Wi-Fi at home. Screen was usually comforting, but now I just felt alone, isolated. Every so often, I thought I heard something beyond the storm, a voice, a cry. The way the mountains carry sound, it could have been miles away or right outside the window. Might be a crow. I clutched a blanket tighter and told myself it was just the wind. After a while, I started pacing the room, trying to pass the time and not think too hard about what was happening. The air grew damp and heavy. Floorboards were cold against my bare feet, colder than they should have been. I realized water was seeping in under the door. That's not good. Started as a trickle. By the time I stuffed another towel against the frame, the trickle had become a stream. I backed into the kitchen as the house shuddered. Something slammed against the foundation, a dull blow that rattled dishes in the cabinets. A roar outside changed. It wasn't just rain anymore. It was the river. House tore free. Walls flickered, floor tiling under me as black water surged in. Oh, that was fast. Quite the escalation. I had no time to scream before it swept me away. ending one, of course, swept away. The cold, wet darkness, I realized. Death is not mercy, nor is it punishment. Death is an opportunity. Mine was a surrender to the flood. The weight of the river washing away walls beneath and memory until nothing of me remained. How emo. Very emo. This is Carved by Grief. I'm pretty sure it's free on itch.io if you want to check it out. It's part of the Jamsepticeye thing. I don't know what other endings there might be. We might come back to this eventually. I might just so happen to play it again and try to get another ending or something. But for now, that is that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other stuff. And I'll see you next time, Punctato Bros. Bye. Every jump scare, every prize. This pug's got biting fries. Potato power never dies. A leap potato. Here we go. Streaming chaos, watch it flow. Joystick twitch.